I thought I'd pop in this week and do a video for the upcoming energies and just whatever needs to come through, which feels really relevant. I've just tried to organise my animals, my dog and my cat, to ensure that they don't interrupt the flow. And even those words, as they come out my mouth, I know how unrealistic they are and the bigger picture of that. My animals represent my animal side, my emotions and my wild. I'm trying to control that, trying to ensure that it doesn't interrupt the flow. I'm going to end up losing quite a significant aspect of my soul if I do that, because actually it's our emotions that help us to flow. It's our emotions that help us define what it is we create in each moment. So it is more about balance. I was going to say about surrendering to the emotions, which would be normal for me, something I would normally say rather, but actually it feels more about balance this week. Mastering, that's what I hear. Mastery with our emotions, not mastering the emotions, but mastery with our emotions. Now what I can see for this week potentially is the comic hero Doctor Strange, with all the energy that he has in his hands, or Avatar, with all the elements and the ability to create with these. And I can see it really clearly building over the next few weeks. And it's some interesting energy. So what I really feel for this week in particular is to make time for yourself, however that may be, and experiment with that. So for argument's sake, today I've actually put makeup on, and those that watch regular videos, just wait for my dog to finish scratching his name tag. Those who watch regular videos of mine know that makeup isn't actually a common thing. I have no judgment on it, I have no view on it. To be honest with you, it's getting the time to put it on most of the time, and just it's never been something that I do unless I'm celebrating something. So I'm going out to a party, or in the old days, nightclubs, things like that. Or if I'm putting on a persona, if I'm putting on a mask, if I feel vulnerable and a little bit of makeup actually makes me feel better about myself, if I don't want to be seen in that vulnerability. Now, again, there is no judgment there for anyone that does wear makeup or doesn't wear makeup. This is just my expression and my view of when I wear makeup. So I either wear it to celebrate life or to almost put on a mask and go to war. My brave face, this is who I am, this is what I want the world to see. And what I really feel there is an emphasis on celebrating life by taking off our masks. Now, whether you want to link that to Corona and the upcoming vaccine, whether you want to link that to the things you have discovered about yourself this year, or whether you want to link it to being, not even being okay, being more than okay with all aspects of who you are. That feels so important as we go into next year. In order to not repeat the same lessons, in order to not have the dogma that is potentially available next year, whether it's on our own emotions, whether it's on our own beliefs or religions or health. So let me just have a sip of my tea. I want to draw attention to the sprays that I have brought down. Now, these sprays are by Amanda Ellis, and I will put the link in the comments. And I use them because I work with colour, and I work with aromatherapy, and I work with Metatron. So they're almost like a little toolkit in a bottle for me, and something that's handy to carry around. So Amanda stocks them. A lot of people will stock aromatherapy sprays. Alternatively, you can make your own, and there is enough information out on the internet on how to make essences and connecting to what it is you're trying to achieve. This hopefully is one of the things we're going to be doing in the Goddess Journey, which I will speak about in a moment. No, I will speak about it now. So when we talk about removing our masks, I have, for the last few weeks, been playing. I can see a cat toying with a mouse, playing with the idea of doing a journey to the dark goddess. And the moment we think about doing something, in truth, we actually initiate it. So what I've actually been doing over the last few weeks is experiencing my own journey to the dark goddess. Getting things back that I need to help others do the same. And literally 2 days ago, I decided I'm going to do it. So in the last 2 days, I have been downloading and writing a workbook and an 11-day course to Journey to the Dark Goddess, which has changed its name several times. From Journey to the Dark Goddess, the original retreat, to the original reset, which is what we're all going through at the moment, to the original reseat and reclaiming our throne. It feels very much linked to the crown chakra, our divinity, the coronavirus being linked to the crown. It's just got emphasis everywhere. But the biggest insight that I've been given about the course is that A, it isn't mine and I will hold space for whatever needs to come through, which is always the case. But also it is very much about ascension. Coming back down into our body now from the last 20 years or more for many people. The age of Aquarius, the Mayan prophecies, the indigenous prophecies, the solstice. There's so much going on with the energies at the moment. This morning it felt very linked to personally 20 years ago, hence the curly hair, hence the makeup. I think back to 20 years ago when I was in my 20s and what I was actually doing then. And I was becoming a mother of my son, or I was pregnant with my son. A miracle that they said wouldn't happen. I was qualifying as a midwife. Again, a miracle my school said wouldn't happen, the teachers at my school. And yeah, that part of my life was just beginning, that next stage. And I can really feel that for next year if we do the work now. And that involves just letting go of anything that we don't want to take forward, which is why the Dark Goddess is a fantastic journey. It's going to be over 11 days. I'm going to do a live in the group, which I will put a link for in the comments at 4 o'clock today to discuss more of the hows, wheres, whys and answer questions. It is only available for those in the group and it is on a donation basis. It is over 11 days and it is only for 11 people. So that I can hold space, in all honesty, through the rites and the ceremonies and the journey that we are going to undertake, which is going to be over 3 days. So on the first day, over the new moon, in preparation for the new moon, we will descend to the underworld. Over the new moon in Sagittarius, this is where we will remain and connect to the Dark Goddess within us. And then the following day we will ascend and recalibrate everything that we have shifted and changed within us. So during that process, we will let go of everything that we are, our identity, our roles. We will basically face death and become death and offer ourselves up for the change that needs to occur. Very much like the myth of Inanna, Sumerian goddess 3,500 years ago, which again you can Google or join the group and there's information about that. We will go down through the 7 chakras of the body and we will release any energy that no longer serves us there, including things that we are holding on to. So our identity, our employment, our security. So why would we do that? Why would we take off all of that? Even the things that we value eventually limit who we are. Our stories, our survival, our journey here, if it becomes everything, it is all we will repeat. So in order to have a true reset, we release it all of our me, all of our objects of power, all of everything that has given us who we are. We release it all so that we can strip back to our soul, our core light, our dark goddess, not even our shadow. I was going to say our shadow, but it's beyond our shadow, because in order to have a shadow you have to have light. The dark goddess is neither and both, all in one go. So it's going to be interesting, and when we face the ending of something, it is there that we truly realize what it is we want to take forward when we no longer have it. So the sprays that I have brought down today are the Ultra Major spray. Now, this feels really important over the next few weeks. There's going to be noise. There's going to be a lot of noise regarding vaccines, regarding Christmas, regarding next year. A lot of potential static. That's what I feel. Static noise. Really, really important to keep coming back to yourself. Always back to the self. But also to keep this chakra in particular clear. Wear scarves. Give this a good old rub, clear it out, go anti-clockwise to empty the energy and then clockwise to put it back in. But be very aware of this mouth of God energy here. It feels like that is going to be one of the main chakras next year. Chakras, whatever you want to call it. Is going to be one of the main energy points next year, being the mouth of God, our direct connection to our higher self. I haven't ordered sprays for a while, and the ones that I have ordered this week in particular are the Higher Self, the Galactic Realm, and Joseph from Amanda. And again, I will put the link in the comments, and it feels relevant to be able to take that higher energy, let it filter through our higher self. There's an awful lot of things that we are repeating and an awful lot of things that aren't necessary anymore. Let it filter through our higher self and then bring it down, like Joseph would, into the masculine and create with it. But let it go through those stages first. Otherwise, what I'm seeing, and again, have experienced myself, this huge high energy coming down straight to the physical body, and it's almost short-circuiting it. It's almost being a bit too much. So our role is to take care of this vessel, self-care, water, food, nature, makeup, whatever you feel gives you time for yourself. But the higher energies to go down through our higher self first. So whether you want to say that that's Jesus or your angelic realm, or what I'm hearing is claiming that it is you, that it is an aspect of you, feels really relevant for particularly the next year to come. The more we allow the energy to go through our higher self to us first and realize that that is us, the more we are claiming our own mastery rather than it being outside of us. So your higher self can be your future self, or yourself without all the labels, or yourself without all the pain, or yourself here just on an expanded version. So letting it come down through that first. The other spray that I brought down, ironically, is I never know until I've actually brought them down, is the Higher Heart. So we'll spray that. It feels very much, that went straight into my eyes. It feels very much seeing from the higher heart when we connect to that higher energy, bringing it down through stages. That's what I feel, 4 stages. Galactic, higher self, higher heart, earth chakra. Okay, so let's just spray some of that. The 4 stages. That's what I really feel as I'm looking at the 4 of Pentacles. So I have to show you this card. On the top of the pack, those greens and golds and browns. Incredible. Bringing it down through the 4 stages. So that higher energy down through our higher self. We don't need to think about it. We don't need to see the vision of it. We don't need to give it a name or a label or an identity. Straight down to the higher heart. How does it feel? Good to go. Down in through the earth. Into whatever it is we create, including our footsteps. That's what I hear, including our footsteps. When we realize that this energy comes down through us, through our feet and into the earth, that's when the magic really starts to happen. That flow, that feedback mechanism, that's when the next spray that comes in, recovery occurs, renewal. It feels like next year in particular, pause, take a breath. Yeah, it feels like next year in particular, pause, take a breath, drink from your own cup, and the weeks to come, always, always, pause, take a breath, drink from your own cup, ensure that it is full before you move forward. Don't take on more than you need, okay? So we can get an insight of something that comes through, particularly collectively. And we can get it stuck in one of these energy centers. We can wonder what that is. We can talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, or we can hold on to it and believe that it's ours to create with. 4 stages. higher energy, down through your higher self. Let it be micromanaged. Is that for me? Yes, okay, I'll take it down to the higher heart. No, let it go. It's collective. Bringing it down into the higher heart. How does that feel? What do I want to do with that? What do I need to create with that? Doing that with these wonderful things that we have here, these hands, and letting the rest go down into our Earth Star chakra. I then see the last spray, which is guidance and insight. I then see the energy almost being filtered in the Earth Star chakra beneath us, coming back up to the higher heart with a request from the Earth of what she needs us to create, and then letting that go back up to the galactic realms. Really taking it up a notch these next few weeks and creating with higher energies for the Earth, bringing that together. It feels so relevant leading up to the solstice. So the last thing I will speak about on the goddess journey is on the solstice. Thankfully, thank you to British Heritage, I can do a watch party live in the group of the sunset and the sunrise over Stonehenge, which is wonderful because I never get to physically be there. And this just feels really relevant and a perfect time to do Dispatcho, which is a sacred prayer bundle, which we will also be doing on the course to bring all of the last 20 years, the last year, the forthcoming year, our ancestors, all the worlds, all our elements into balance, so that when we go into 2021, we go in firm and strong, knowing A, we are our own dark goddesses, B, we are our own inanas and able to birth from that, and going forward with hope, faith and recovery in ourselves. So I'm going to pull a few cards because I'm aware it's been nearly 17 minutes, and that's enough really. I've just looked at the book, The Four Insights by Alberto Villoldo. I can never say his name, apologies. And I'll put a link in the comments. What I'm getting is to open the book. Open the book. The Four Insights, the four stages, the Four of Pentacles, knowing what to hold on to, knowing what to let go of. And the page I've opened it up onto, our power to create a better life. If many of us hold a dream of hope and possibility, we can make a huge difference. As a seer, you can choose to reject the nightmare that's presented to you by the media and the people around you. You don't have to participate in the dream that says the purpose of everyone's life is to be completely obedient, a perfect child, an excellent student, and then graduate to marriage, family, steady job, a house in a nice neighbourhood, and a television with 200 channels. I just want to say, if that is your dream, that too is fine. After which you retire to a comfortable gated community. Whilst this may be the American dream, again Alberto's words, it doesn't have to be yours. It's certainly not mine. Now that I will agree with, it isn't mine. It's been mine and I've been blessed to experience it. But now, for me personally, it's time to move on. There are so many more interesting dreams you can create. Feels like to leave it there. That just feels really, really relevant. So now I see where they're going. Whatever comes in this week in particular, let it go through the four stages. Is it of higher energy? First and foremost, is it of the higher energy, or is it coming from a lower, not dark energy, denser energy? So is it coming from, oh, I haven't got enough money, or is it coming from an energy of abundance? Is it of higher energy? Let it come down through your higher self. Does this serve the vision that I have for my future self? Let it come down to your higher heart. How does it feel? Do I want to do something about this? And then let it go down into the earth below you. Not into your body, further into the earth so that it can be heard. Okay, so I'm going to pull one. I can see the platinum. I can see the platinum ray. Bear with me. Yeah, crown energy. It feels like a chance to practice this, really practice this, opening the crown. So again, I feel like the crown is a little bit. So let's just do that. Let's just go back, anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise in our crown. And just see it clearing, see any fog clearing now, okay? Any dirt, any debris just coming out and just doing what you need to do. See it, imagine it dispersing, or pull it out a little bit there. And it's actually sticking my crown a bit. So we'll just shift that round. And then just gently swirl it back up to a level that is comfortable for you. What I see is almost like halos that have been knocked. Halos that have been knocked with the energy coming in. It would test a saint, the energy coming in, and it has knocked a few halos. That's okay, it's understandable. They're a little bit crooked at the moment. Be aware of that, keep it light, and just check in with your energy and see where you're at and what's going on. So I'm going to pick one card. Oh, it's upside down. Is the whole pack upside down? The whole pack is upside down. Okay, so when one is upside down, the whole pack is upside down. Keep that in mind. So the energy that we're in, if we're not in our own balance and we're a bit topsy-turvy, expect the same around us. Turn ourselves upright and everything else will turn itself upright. So the card that we have here is the crone, which for me personally is perfect. I am aware that collectively we are going down into a descent before we rise, just before the solstice when the light returns. And the crone very much speaks to me about the dark goddess. Okay. What I see here is a small child, our inner child, inner wild, innocent, pure self. These masks have protected us. They have, and they've kept us safe, but it almost feels like it's time now to let this aspect of ourselves shine. The innocence, the light, is time to be reborn. When we do the dark goddess journey, a lot of it, the descent, the bit people fear the most, often occurs naturally, often occurs through dis-ease. So next year in particular, we may see that following Corona, bankruptcy. Basically, we lose the things we've been clinging to, and that often occurs through life. We might not even be aware of it. It can be quite fast and impactful. What we don't always realise is that we can remain in the underworld, almost living a half life, because we haven't quite let go of the stories. We haven't quite let go of the belief behind money or spirituality or relationships, and we continue to repeat them in the underworld, in the shadow, if there is a shadow aspect, which creates new beginnings if we dare to take them and move forward. When it comes to the goddess journey, a lot of people will remain in the underworld and not ascend. I firmly believe it's because we have ascension kind of upside down, that we believe it is we go up. You know, this old story of the fall from grace, and we have to earn our way back up to the light, the descent, we have to climb back up. Which, if we're in the underworld and we're coming from a place of low worth or old stories, is going to be incredibly difficult. So even that we let go of in the underworld until there's nothing. And then we return to the knowing that we're actually light, that we were actually always light, pure, innocent child of the universe. There is when we start to reclaim our energy, reclaim our newer identity, our higher dimensional identity, and start to ascend. Not by leaving the body, but by applying what we know to life, by bringing it into the physical body. So this card for me very much speaks of a deep wisdom that comes from that journey. And it is a journey we have all done. We have all actually done it, whether we know it or not. So it feels relevant to end this reading on a suggestion that you look over your life. Look over, yeah, there's a bit vast. Look over this last year, okay, in the next few weeks. Look at all the things that you have perhaps lost or had to let go of, or things that have changed. Look at the wonderful lessons that you've had behind it, and maybe not. You know, sometimes that we surrender to life, we don't acknowledge in a way that we accept that is our life, but we do need to acknowledge what is occurring in order to surrender to that life and therefore give it up and therefore move forward. So this last year, look at everything that you've lost, everything that may have changed, everything that you're still holding on to. How do they serve you next year? Take them through the 4 stages. How do they serve you next year? Does that belief still serve you? Is that going to help your future higher self? Is it a high energy? How does it serve you? Let it come through. Let it come to your heart. Do you need to do something with that? The goddess journey, I don't know what it's going to be about, but I know I need to do it. I know I need to do it for my own completion. 20 years ago, I went down to the underworld, and continuously we go down to the underworld. When we take a breath in and a breath out, there's death and rebirth. The moon, the sun, all of it. 20 years ago, I went down to the underworld. 10 years ago, I went down to the underworld. As we do it more often, we discover so much about us that for me, the final aspect is to help others do the same, to pass that teaching forward. Then I know I have fully embodied the lessons of that journey. So I have to do this. In my higher heart, I have to do this. And it feels immense. And what I do then is just give everything that I don't need down to the earth. So this year, journal it, meditate with it, sit with it. What have I discovered? What have I let go of? What do I no longer want to take forward? The next few weeks are definitely the time to do it, in time for the solstice. So with that in mind, one last card, the self. Okay, that's what we get at the end of it. That's what we get through all of this. Once we do the journey, we return to the self, the true self, the peace of that fire within us, that spirit, that creativity, that light. So take that time this week. I think that's everything. I shall put the sprays in the comments. I shall put the group in the comments. Yeah, take that time for yourself. Let it go through the 4 stages of your own development. That's what I hear, your own school, if you like. Use this as your school. And I shall hopefully see you next week. I will be in the underworld, so we shall see. We shall see what comes up. I know one of the things we're going to do is actually channel the Dark Goddess, so maybe that will be the video. Maybe that will be the video. Take care, have a wonderful week, and I shall see you soon. Bye.